Wow, would you believe that after I posted the last 3 or 4 videos about Saudi Arabia, the Crown Prince, and the King Salman, and their situation with the soon coming meeting with Joe Biden in Israel and also the Palestinian Authority? Well, would you believe that just the other day, after I posted my very last video on the subject, I located an article just by chance in the Arab news, and you're not going to believe what this says. I'm basing that on, if you've seen the other videos, then you know what I'm talking about. If you're newly coming here just watching this video, you're not going to know what I'm talking about. So I'm just going to share with you this article and just see what you think about what they say here. So this is pretty interesting that this article came out, and it says Dubai, Saudi Arabia must be involved in any peace solution between the Israelis and the Palestinians. Asawi Frej, Israel's Minister of Regional Cooperation, said during an interview with Katie Jensen, the host of Frankly Speaking, the Arab news talk show that features interviews with leading policymakers and business leaders. Frej, only the second Arab Muslim to serve in an Israeli cabinet, made the comments amid an uptick in intercommunal violence in the decades-old conflict between Jewish Israelis and Arab Palestinians. Arab leaders across the region have called for calm and appealed for both sides to return to peace negotiations. In Frej's view, Saudi Arabia's involvement is essential to reaching a lasting solution. The Saudi leadership would be central to any solution in the future, and His Royal Highness King Salman, man of peace, and the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, I believe that they will play a central role in any renewed peace process in the future, Frej said. All of us need Saudi Arabia. The kingdom is not a signatory of the Abraham Accords, a series of deals brokered by the U.S. in 2020, which helped to normalize relations between Israel and several Arab states, including the UAE, Bahrain, and Morocco. Speaking at the World Economic Forum in Davos on May 24th, Saudi Arabia's Foreign Minister, Prince Faisal bin Farhan, reiterated the kingdom's stance on the accords, stating it would not normalize relations with Israel until the Palestinian issue had been addressed. So now you know why Joe Biden was preparing to meet with the Saudi king and the Saudi crown prince and going to meet with the Palestinians. However, Frej believes Saudi Arabia has the regional clout and the standing among Arabs and Muslims to drive forward the peace process between the Israelis and the Palestinians should it choose to take the lead. For me, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is very important, said Frej. For the Muslims in Israel, it's very, very important, that 15% of the population in Israel are Muslims, and the kingdom for us is the protection of our holy places. It's very important. The kingdom should play a central role in this region to find the solution, because the kingdom is one of the countries that all the Arabs, all the Muslims look to and want to look to. It is central. Asked how confident he is about the prospects for peace within his own lifetime, Frej admitted the process is not a priority for the government of Prime Minister Naftali Bennett, a coalition that features Frej's own left-wing Meretz party. In Frej's view, the best that can be hoped for under the current government is a strengthening of the Palestinian economy and its institutions. We have half of this government who believe in a two-state solution and the other half who don't believe in that. It's not easy, but all the government agrees to strengthening the Palestinian Authority on the economic side. I hope that we will find a way in the future to renew the peace process and find a way to reach something on the political horizon for the region and the Palestinians. But this government is a complicated government. Our policy is not there. Asked whether the recent outbreak of violence has complicated the peace process and caused embarrassment for those Arab countries who have signed the Abraham Accords, Frej said these events had demonstrated the need for stronger Palestinian institutions. The situation between the Arabs and the Jews for the Palestinians in the region, it's not so good. We're not in a good situation, he said. We tried 30 years ago to have Oslo and to try and begin a new period in the region, and I'm sorry to say that we failed. Now we try to build new confidence measures between the Palestinian and the Israelis and to have the trust. In order to have a safe and good future, you need to build a strong present. Now when I speak about the present, nowadays the Palestinian Authority is weak. Palestinian society is weak. First of all, we need to strengthen Palestinian society. As a strong supporter of the normalization deal, Frej believes the Palestinians made a big mistake in not joining the Abraham Accords. I think the Palestinians should be part of this movement. I believe that they made a mistake to not be part of the Abraham Accords because, as I said in the past, there is a blessing in movement, and the Palestinians should be part of this movement. If recent events are anything to go by, the chances of resuming peace talks anytime soon appear remote. I'll skip down a little bit. Frej is only the second Arab Muslim minister in Israeli history after Ralib Majadli, born to a Muslim Arab family in Kfar Qasim. Frej joined the Joint Jewish-Arab Campus Group while at the Hebrew University of Jerusalem and subsequently joined the Ratz Party, which later merged into Meretz. The Ratz Party, R-A-T-Z. Given Israel's stark political divisions and historical tensions, some view Frej's appointment to the cabinet to be purely symbolic, a tokenistic gesture rather than a reflection of changing attitudes. It's not symbolic, said Frej. It's not easy, but it's not symbolic. Rather, Frej sees the formation of the coalition government and the involvement of Arabs as a historic shift in Israeli politics. After 73 years in Israel, to have a government such as this, to see Arab ministers, to see an Arab party as part of the coalition, to see a coalition from the right and the left, it's not easy for us because there is a different agenda in this government. I am from the left side. My party believes in the two-state solution. My party believes in justice for all citizens, Arabs and Jews within Israel. We believe that we need to support Palestinian society, the Palestinian Authority, and renew the peace process. Yes, I am the second Muslim Arab in the Israeli government. It's a big challenge, but we are part of this society, and we need to try to change things inside the government. Critics have accused Frej of towing the government line by rejecting claims by the human rights monitor Amnesty International that Israel is an apartheid state. Pressed on the point, Frej said such labels are not helpful and do not help the peace process. Within Israel, we have a lot of problems, criticism of Jews and Arabs, that the Arab society is not in the first class with the Jewish. We know that we have a lot of problems, but this is a problem you cannot translate into saying Israel is an apartheid state. Israel is not an apartheid state. There are a lot of problems between Arabs and Jews, human rights. We know that we struggle to be equal rights in every field, but to the Palestinian Authority, this is occupation. It's not apartheid. And in the Palestinian territory, West Bank and Gaza Strip, otherwise known as the biblical Judea and Samaria, it's a conflict. We must finish it. We must find a solution. This is my belief, and to say that it's apartheid, I ask myself and ask you and ask the audience, if I give it this title, will I help find a solution for our problem here in the region? No. Frej has lobbied extensively for the inclusion of Arabic as a language within the official Israeli school curriculum and the establishment of the Arab Heritage Society. Does he feel that the Israeli people are with him or against him over these changes? According to Frej, the mainstream in Israel wants the Arabs to be part of the society. Arabs, I want to be part of the society. Israel, it's my state, but the Palestinians, they are my people. I should be the bridge between my state and my people, he replied, adding, this is the correct way, this is the right way. The majority of the Arab sector in Israel choose this way. Well, you know, if they want to be in an Arab society, why doesn't Saudi Arabia just take the Palestinians into Saudi Arabia since they are Arabs? That makes the most sense. And let them live in the Saudi Arabia as Arabians. That makes the most sense. My advice to Palestinians is to be part of any peace agreement with any Arab country. And I hope the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, the hope and vision for all the regions, will create a central role for any solution. And the other thing that I need to say is that the Palestinian Authority, all of us, Israel and all the region, should do our best to strengthen Palestinian society, because Palestinian society nowadays is in a bad situation. In order to have the two-state solution and to have the Palestinian state, we need to support them to build their institutions and their society. So then, that's the end of the article, but frankly speaking also had an article that said rising Saudi aviation sector will be catalyst for entire GCC tourism market's growth, says Dubai Airports CEO Paul Griffiths. So Saudi Arabia is working with Dubai, that has the 10 sheikdoms, and they have a sheikh that controls each one of the 10 regions. So in my opinion, this group coming together, you know, Mohammed bin Salman and his father, King Salman, and Salman means man of peace. And of course they're saying here that the Saudi leadership is central to any Palestinian peace solution. And of course Mohammed bin Salman had said that there needed to be some sort of peace agreement with Israel, Saudi Arabia, and the Palestinian people in Israel. I wanted to play a little segment of what this Isawi Frej said. You can't tell me that he's going to include some of the other Arab nations, including the 10 Sheikhdom Kingdom of Dubai. So just take a listen to this, and I'm leaving the captions on so you could kind of read it as it goes by.
Will be the central of any solution in the future, I'm sure. And his Royal Highness King Salman and the Crown Prince, I believe that they will play a central role in any renew peace process in the future. All of us need Saudi, the kingdom need its movement in this region. Everything will be changed, and we will have a new horizon for all our region.
So you just saw Isawi Frej, Israel's Minister of Regional Cooperation, saying in that interview that there is no doubt that King Salman and Mohammed bin Salman will play a very central role in the coming peace between Israel and the Palestinians. And of course I talked about the possibility that they could give custodianship of the Temple Mount, or at least in part, to Saudi Arabia, to Mohammed bin Salman and King Salman, and have the custodianship shift from the King of Jordan to Saudi Arabia, or at least letting Saudi Arabia have a part in that. Now, one of the things about that you should know is that the King of Jordan used to have custodianship of the two main mosques in Mecca. And the Saudis came in and basically removed them out of the position and took custodianship to the two main mosques. So this is why they think that maybe it might be a good idea for them to now take the King of Jordan out of the way from the Temple Mount and remove him and put the Saudis in charge of the Muslim holy sites on God's holy mountain, Holy Mount Moriah in Jerusalem. So you can see how, when I told you about the land lease being letteth and let, how that just really shows how all of this can come about, where the King of Jordan would be the one removed and the other one taking his place. And of course, I showed you the word Quran is connected to, it's another form of the name Iscariot, as in Judas Iscariot, which he was the son of perdition. So you can see in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, when the one is taken out of the way and the man of sin is revealed, the son of perdition. Penny Caldwell said that the name Salman is the same as Solomon or Suleiman, and it does mean man of peace. So we know that they are planning to give the Saudi king and his son, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, a very central role up there on the Temple Mount, I believe. They've talked about that and doing that. And now this article says from this Israeli minister that's basically a Muslim Arab that they must be involved in the peace process between Israel and the PA. So this is just more proof that Joe Biden is not going to Saudi Arabia or any of the Arab countries to make your gas prices lower. If you did not watch my, I think it was 3 prior videos to this one, you really need to watch the one that has the word Iscariot on the thumbnail. And then it has a lot of revelations in it that the Lord gave me, and I revealed a bunch of things about this topic in that video, and you really need to see that one first, and then the other ones are kind of following with this information. And this just came about on June 5th. The Lord showed me that King Salman was one of the 7, he's one of the 8th, and the one that goes to perdition is one of the 8th. There's one that's in control now, but one will take his place, and that would be Mohammed bin Salman. And just listen to all those videos and you'll get a bigger picture of the things that the Lord revealed and I was sharing. Hey, I thank you for the support. If you want to support this channel and you think it's worth something to you, I appreciate the support. I appreciate you subscribing. I appreciate you giving a thumbs up. I've had my notify subscribers blocked for the last 3 videos, so it's not notifying the majority of people. And if you want to share it on social media, then it would get the algorithms to get this video to be seen. And the same with the last 3 videos. So anyway, I'll talk to you soon, and God bless.